Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to talk about NAT Gateway. Okay. Now the matter is you must have knowledge of netting. Yeah, like a net. This is networking concept, and the net knowledge is compulsory if you want to understand this particular topic. Okay. Now, if you don't have any knowledge, you are here in our system. So watch video below. Yeah. In this video, I just already explained about what is NAT, how you can use this, okay, and then watch this. Yeah. So first of all, just find out, like, if you have knowledge of NAT, no worry, you can continue with this video. If you don't, watch video below, okay, and then come back to this video. Okay. So thank you. Now let me start and talk about NAT. Okay, like NAT Gateway. So here we have this map. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, and as per rule, okay, we have public subnet. Yeah, public subnet means each computer in the public subnet having a public IP and private IP. For example, this is IP of my EC2 instance. Let me verify this again and let me add this. Yeah, so for example, this is PC I1. Yeah, we are having same PC over here. Okay, and let me verify IP. Yeah, we have this particular IP 0.22 over here, and this is what we call fake IP or a private IP. Yeah, and because it is in a public subnet, okay, it has public IP as well. So this is what we have, public IP. Okay, this is a public IP address of this EC2 instance. Right now, it has a fake IP, it has a public IP. So what I can say, this computer having inbound internet access and outbound internet access, and this computer is accessible over the internet. Yeah, this computer is accessible over the internet because this computer is in a public subnet. Okay, it has a connectivity with the internet gateway, and it has a live IP. Yeah, so you can able to access this computer over the internet from anywhere over the world using the public IP of this computer. Yeah, now let me access this using the public IP. Okay, so connect RDP, download remote access. Okay, see over here, when you connect using remote access, it is using public. You cannot use fake IP, private IP. Yeah, you must have public IP. Now I have to provide this file. Okay, so it is in download folder, the file name is 8pm. Yeah, it is there. Okay, decrypt. I'm going to copy this, and here is the path. Okay, so it means I can able to access this computer from my PC, meaning is it has live IP, it is accessible all over the internet, all over the world. Even you can able to access this PC from your home and office. Yeah, and now if I am going to this particular computer, and if I'm trying to access Google, Facebook, Gmail, yeah, I can able to access this. Yeah, we have this Internet Explorer over here, so like it is not easy to open, but let me try. Like, we can able to access. Yeah, so basically I can able to open Google as well. So the meaning is this computer is in public subnet. Yeah, and it has a public IP. Okay, and because it has a public IP, I can able to access it over the internet, and I can able to access internet from this computer as well. So it has inbound internet, outbound internet, both are enabled. Okay, second thing is like this computer is actually not secure. Why? Because it has a public IP and it is exposed to the internet. You can able to access it from anywhere, right? So yeah, you have to take care of the security of this computer. Now you may have question like, how can I care security? Yeah, how can I care about the security? Don't worry, you will learn about the ACL and the security group in upcoming videos. Yeah, so it is easy. So we'll talk about this security later, but yeah, we have to take care of this because this computer is actually exposed into the internet because it has public IP. Yeah, and if you're talking about, like, if you talk about other side, yeah, this computer is a private. Yeah, it is in a private subnet. So basically it is connected to the main root table. Now main root table don't have internet connectivity, so there is no internet connectivity. Yeah, it has no public IP. Although if you assign the public IP, it won't work because it is not connected with internet anywhere. Yeah, see this. Okay, there is no connectivity with internet, so this is a safe computer. Okay, this is safe computer, and the disadvantage is you cannot able to access this computer over the internet. That is okay, but you cannot able to access internet from this computer. Yeah, now this is the problem. Okay, in the video below I already give you example, like my computer is not accessible over the internet, but the matter is I can able to access internet from this computer. Now this is requirement. Yeah, now this is requirement. If you have database server, if you have web server, even though you must have internet accessibility on this computer. Now let me tell you clearly, I am talking about outbound. Okay, outbound, it means I can able to open Google, Facebook, Gmail from this computer. Okay, but no one can able to access my computer over the internet, right? So I don't want to configure this computer like I1. Yeah, I1 is like, it has inbound, anyone can able to access internet, it is okay, and it has outbound, like anyone can able to access internet from this computer. Yeah, so now I want to give one functionality. Okay, I want to give one functionality of I1, and the functionality would be I can able to access internet from this computer. It means I can able to access Google, Facebook, Gmail from this computer. Okay, but no one can able to access this computer over the internet. Okay, long story short, I want to enable I want to disable inbound internet, it is okay, but I want to enable outbound. Yeah, outbound means I can able to access Google, Facebook, Gmail from this computer. Now you may have question like, why you want to do this? Why you want to do this? If you are not able to giving internet connectivity, this computer will be safest. Yeah, so why you are going to give internet connectivity? What is the requirement? Yeah, there is a requirement, and the requirement is, see, whenever you are using the computer, okay, you are using the software. Like if you have database server, and if you are using Oracle database server, it must be updated. Yeah, there is a patches, there is a security patch, there is a UI update patches. Yeah, that if you want to update your database, yeah, you must have internet. For example, if you have application in your mobile, yeah, you are using Facebook, which is in your mobile, yeah, and many times you are getting this Facebook is updating. There is new update for Facebook, there is new update for WhatsApp, right? So if you are using a small web application like Facebook and a WhatsApp that required updates, yeah, very frequently, if you are using a database which is having a data of millions of users, yeah, it also be updated. So if you are not providing internet, then you will be in trouble because you cannot able to update this database. Okay, so to give this update, we have to provide internet, and that's why I'm going to explain you how we can provide internet. Okay, now first of all, let me verify that can I able to access internet or not. Right now it is in public subnet. Okay, public subnet is connected with the main root table. Main root table don't have any connectivity with the internet. That's why we cannot able to access internet. But still, I want to demonstrate this. Yeah, that we are not able to access the internet. So the matter is, like, this computer is not exposed into the internet. How I can access this? So easy process is, I am having connectivity with I1. I am having accessibility of I1, which is live IP, and from this I1 I will access I2. Okay, so it is like connectivity. Yeah, so I just got I1, and now from I1 I will access I2. Okay, so I just open Microsoft Remote Desktop. Okay, let me do it slowly. Okay, so it is like MSTSC. Here is the IP that I have to enter. Okay, and then let me go to the EC2 instance. Yeah, and I'm talking about this, so it has no public IP. Okay, so going to copy this, okay, and then paste. Again it will ask me for the password. Okay, so I have to generate password. Connect, it is better to configure administrator password. Yeah, so you do not need to generate password every time. Okay, copy and paste. Okay, so now I am inside this I2. Yeah, I just use I1, okay, and then from I1 I just access this I2, okay. In this case we called I1 as a destined host, but we'll talk about this later. Right now don't worry about it, okay. So now I am confused, I mean I1 or I2, okay. So just verify this, like I am having this IP. Oh wait, yeah, you have to verify this from here. Yeah, we have this 192.168.0.154. So yeah, I mean this I2, okay. Now let me open a command prompt, yeah, and I'm not going to open browser to check internet. Yeah, I'm just going to ping 8.8.8, which is IP address of Google DNS server. Yeah, if I can able to ping 8.8, internet is working. If not, internet is not working. And obviously you are having the answer that internet is not working over here. Yeah, so just use -T. Now when you use -T, the ping will be continue. See, I cannot able to access internet. Yeah, so what I actually did over here is I just access this I2 and try to access internet from I2, and now it is not available. Yeah, again I don't want to provide inbound. I want that no one can able to access I2 over the internet because it is my most important database server, okay. But I want internet inside, like internet in the I2, like outbound internet, so I can able to access Google, Facebook, or maybe I can able to update my database. Yeah, so how I can do this? The answer is I have to configure NAT Gateway, okay. I have to configure NAT Gateway. So the matter is like how I can place this, how you can do this, okay. So let me open my mind map, okay, and then I'm going to explain you through the mind map, okay. 1 second. Yeah, so in the previous section I explained you about internet gateway, okay, and then I explained you about the public and private subnet, and right now I'm going to explain you about NAT gateway. Yeah, it is important, okay, and let me explain you main 2 points, okay. Keep this in mind, okay. Now NAT, okay, 5 points that you have to consider. Stand for network address translator. I already explained you in the video below. Each NAT gateway is created in a specific availability zone and implement with the redundancy in that zone. Yeah, so if you are going to create NAT gateway, it will create in a multiple availability zone, okay. You can use NAT device to enable instance in a private subnet to connect the internet or other AWS service, but prevent the internet initiating the connection with the instance. Yeah, that is what I explain you, okay. Let me read it slowly. You can use NAT device to enable instance in a private subnet to connect the internet. Yeah, this is what we require. Right now, if you go over here, okay, this a PC, this is the instance in a private subnet, and we want to enable internet for this particular EC2 instance. Yeah, this is what our requirement is. Yeah, why we are doing this? For software update or for other AWS service. Yeah, for example, from this instance you want to access S3. We'll talk about S3 later, but like for that. But prevent the internet from initiating connection with the instance. Yeah, so that is what I exactly explain you. No one can able to access this EC2 instance over the internet, but yes, you can able to access internet from this computer. Yeah, and that's why we must have NAT gateway, okay. It only scale up to 45 Gbps. Now 45 Gbps, okay, so it is like enough, right? The speed of the internet. NAT instance bandwidth capacity depend on the instance type. Now if you want to configure NAT, you are having two options. One we call NAT gateway, and the another option we call it NAT instance, okay. Now previously when there was no NAT gateway, if we want to share internet, like if we require like point number 3, we can use NAT instance. Yeah, NAT instance is one type of virtual machine, or we can say instance, that we have to configure. Yeah, nowadays we don't have this NAT instance, like there is no requirement to configure NAT instance. We have a ready to use tool, we call it NAT Gateway, and we can use this. Okay, so let me talk about this. So there are NAT types, okay, and there are 3 points that you have to remember. Okay, first is NAT Gateway, second is NAT instance. Okay, now let me tell you the truth. Okay, this was really important when you are going to when you are before 6 months, before 1 month, it was really important topic. Yeah, because at that time NAT was introduced by Amazon. NAT Gateway was introduced. Yeah? And when they introduce new features, they are asking lots of questions in exam. Okay, so maybe 1 year, 2 year ago, yeah, whenever you open any exam, they're asking a question about NAT Gateway and NAT instance. But nowadays, when you are going to give exam, they're not asking about the NAT Gateway and NAT instance, because they have there are many features which is available like new. Okay, so but the matter is you must aware about this. That's why I just mentioned over here in this particular mind map. Okay, so now we have NAT Gateway. Okay, so first of all, let me explain you how you will get this. Yeah, so for example, if you want to enable NAT Gateway, okay, you just need to go to the VPC. Here I am in VPC dashboard. Okay, and here you will get this NAT Gateway. Okay, we'll talk about all this, don't worry, but right now we are talking about this NAT Gateway. Yeah, you will get NAT Gateway over here. Okay, and now if you want to create a NAT instance, okay, and you can do this NAT instance. Like in this case, you have to configure a EC2 instance. Okay, so to create NAT instance, you have to go to the NAT instance and launch instance, and then you have to go to the community AMI. Okay, and here you will get this is Amazon AMI VPC NAT. So you have to create your EC2 instance using this. You can select any using this AMI, and it will create EC2 instance for you, and it will act as a NAT device for you. Yeah, but it was a solution before 2 years ago, before they launched this NAT Gateway. Right now we are all happy with this NAT Gateway. Okay, so we will do it practically using NAT Gateway, right? So now I'm talking about we are comparing both. Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about NAT Gateway, and then we will talk about NAT instance. Okay, so 5 points that you have to consider. We recommended NAT Gateway as they provided better availability, bandwidth over the NAT instance. Yeah, the NAT Gateway service also managed service that do not require your administration effort. Yeah, you just need to drag and drop like scenario. Yeah, it is really very easy to use NAT Gateway. Scale automatically up to 10 Gbps. Not associated with the security group. Yeah, so when you are creating instance, you have to associate with the security group. Okay, and there is a remark. Now this remark is most useful because you will get question about this. Yeah, so whenever I'm talking about remark, keep this in mind. It is an exam hint. Okay, so 6 points that you have to remember. Preferred by the enterprise over the instance. More secure than the NAT instance. No need to patch, because in the NAT instance we are having operating system. Yeah, so you have to update the system and all this. Automatically assign a public IP address. Remember to update the root table, and no need to disable, there is no disable enable checks and anything. Yeah, now keep this in mind. When you have this NAT Gateway, it must have public IP. Yeah, otherwise you cannot able to access internet. Yeah, like in the video below, I already explained you, when you have this NAT device, it must have live IP. Yeah, so when you have NAT instance or NAT Gateway, it must have live IP. It is required. Okay, so basically NAT device is sharing the internet. Yeah, it is sharing one public IP with other devices. So in this case, it must have this public IP. It is compulsory. Okay, so then 6 points. Now let me talk about NAT instance. 2 points. A NAT instance is a launch from a NAT AMI that I already explained you. You can choose to use NAT instance for a special purpose. Okay, Remark, keep this in mind. 4 point. Yeah. When creating NAT instance, disable source destination in the instance on the distance. Yeah. NAT instance must be in a public subnet. The amount of the traffic that NAT instance can support depend on the instance size. If you are bottlenecking, increase the instance size. Yeah. So whenever you are creating EC2 instance, yeah. For example, I'm going to create this. Okay. Now here you are actually selecting instance type. Now suppose if I'm going to select this, yeah, T3 Nano, it has a 5 gig internet. Yeah, it has a 5 gig network performance. So I cannot get internet more than 5 gigs using this NAT instance. Yeah, so it is totally depend on this. Okay, and NAT instance. Yeah, when you create NAT instance, disable source and destination in the instance. Okay, so source and destination like in a security group. We'll talk about this later. Right now, don't worry. Okay, and you can create high available using auto scaling group, multiple subnet in the different AZ and script to automate the failover. Now this will be the problem. Yeah, and this is the older technique that we are not going to use this. Okay, so this is just for remark. Use NAT Gateway. It is easy. Yeah, you do not need to worry about high availability or anything. The total process is automated. Yeah, so yeah, it was useful before like 2017 16 something. At that time there was no NAT Gateway. Right now it is like a useless concept, but just keep this in mind. Maybe you will get question in exam. Okay, so like it is what the NAT instance. Yeah, now a difference, NAT instance to a NAT Gateway. Yeah, one can simply start and stop NAT Gateway service using deployment NAT instance, but you need to ensure that NAT Gateway is deployed in a public subnet. Now this is what the most important topic, and that is we are going to explain, like I'm going to explain you practically. Okay, so let me close this. Okay, and let me come back to our normal lab scenario. Yeah, yeah, here we have. Now the matter is, right now our, one second, right now there is a connectivity between main root table and private subnet. Right, this is how it works. Right now we have this. Okay, now the matter is I want to configure NAT Gateway. Okay, now NAT Gateway must have public IP. Okay, or we call it elastic IP. Okay, I know this is the new word. Maybe you are listening it first time. I will explain you. Don't worry about this. Okay, second thing, okay, NAT Gateway must be in the public subnet. Yeah, because if you deploy it in the private subnet, it will not have internet, right? So the matter is, whenever you are deploying public subnet, the public subnet must be in a public, whenever you are deploying NAT instance, whenever you are deploying NAT Gateway, yeah, it must be in a public subnet. Okay, I am going to speak same word, okay, in a slow motion, right? Whenever you are going to deploy NAT Gateway, yeah, it must be in a public subnet. Why? Because NAT Gateway must have internet. Yeah, and internet is only enabled in a public subnet. Okay, so NAT Gateway will get the internet from the public subnet and it will share with the PC in a private subnet. Okay, now you will get this question in the exam for sure. Okay, so NAT Gateway must be in the public subnet. Yeah, it will provide internet to the private subnet. Okay, now you may have a question like how we can do this. We'll do it. Don't worry about this. First thing. Second thing, NAT Gateway must have public IP. Yeah, because NAT Gateway is a device which is having public IP and it is sharing this IP with the PC in a private subnet. Okay, so it must have public IP. Okay, now how can I do this? The first matter is I have to go to the NAT Gateway and I have to create this. Okay, so for example, let me go over here. Okay, and let me find this NAT Gateway. Yeah, let me use search option. Yeah, NAT Gateway. Now see this, we have this NAT Gateway. So we have to configure this NAT Gateway over here in a public subnet. Yeah, and when you configure NAT Gateway, okay, let me go to wait. When you create this NAT Gateway, okay, Amazon will give you public IP automatically. Yeah, you do not need to worry about it. Okay, so let me do this. So I'm going to VPC, okay, and here I'm having this NAT gateway, right? Now I have to click over here. Let me, yeah, create NAT gateway. Okay, now you have to give name. Okay, I'm going to give like my net. Okay, and then I have to select subnet. Now actually, as per this rule, I have to select public subnet. Okay, don't forget about this, is the most important point. Yeah, so I have to select NAT gateway in a public subnet. Okay, and here it is telling me to elastic IP. Now you have to provide public IP to NAT gateway. Okay, now if you have already, you can select it, but right now I don't have. And maybe you have question like, what is elastic IP? Right now for this particular video, consider that elastic IP address is a live IP assigned by Amazon. Yeah, so actually, for example, if I am using internet at home and if I want to use public IP, I have to get it from the ISP. Now if you are using NAT gateway and NAT gateway must have live IP or a public IP, yeah, you will get it from the Amazon. Okay, so it must have live IP, it is required, right? So if you don't have, you just need to click allocate elastic IP. Okay, now keep this in mind, elastic IP is not free. Okay, it has charge, but it is very limited charge. Yeah, you may need to pay like a penny. Okay, don't worry about the charges, like it has a very low charges. But the problem is, after this practical, you have to release this. Yeah, you have to release this. Now if you forget to release this, yeah, Amazon will charge you, right? And then you will message me in the Telegram, yeah, this I got this bill. Okay, so after this lab, I will explain you how you can delete this. Okay, and please, for God's sake, do not forget to delete this. Do not forget to release this IP. Yeah, I want that, like, we do not need to pay any extra charges to the Amazon, right? That's why I am requesting you, please delete and release everything after you're done with this lab. Okay, don't forget it, right? So now I just got this elastic IP. Okay, and you just need to click allocate elastic IP and you will get this. Okay, and then click create NAT gateway. So now it is done. Okay, and here we have this status, it is a pending. It means it will take time. Okay, now may it will take more time. So in this case, let me go to the ALB like chart again. Okay, now the matter is, when you are using gateway, okay, you have to edit the routing table. Okay, so we are going to use the same strategy that we use in the internet gateway. Yeah, in the internet gateway, what we used, we just created one public RT. Okay, and then we just add this root, and then we associated this particular subnet with this public RT. Yeah, this is like here we have this, like we just added one root table, then we associated this particular public subnet with this root table, and then we just added this default root for the internet gateway. Yeah, it is how this subnet become public. Now again we will do the same thing. Okay, so what we will do, we'll configure one root table again. Yeah, we'll configure one root table again. So yeah, I just use a dip, like this is root table. Yeah, and here we will give this name like private RT. Okay, now we associate our private subnet with this. So whenever we will associate with this particular root table, yeah, we just need to deassociate with, like it will automatically deassociate this. Okay, keep this in mind. Here I was having this different icon for the root table, like it is same. Yeah, it was like just I got this one. Yeah, so this is root table. Yeah, all these are root table same. Yeah, do not go to this particular design, right? Otherwise, let me wait a minute, let me use this, so it will be same. Yeah, okay, now here I'm going to give name like a private RT. This is my root table. Okay, now I will associate this. Yeah, I'm going to delete this, and I will associate this subnet with the private RT. Okay. Now same thing happens. I have to connect this private RT with the VPN gateway as the same as we connected this public RT with the internet gateway. Okay. So let me do this first and then we will talk about the connectivity. Okay. So I'm going to VPC and let me refresh this. What is the status over here? Yeah, my root NAT gateway is ready to use. Okay. And here we have this elastic IP, or we can say public IP of my NAT gateway. Okay. Keep this in mind. Okay. Now we'll copy it later. Right now it is okay. You just have a knowledge like NAT gateway must have public IP. Okay. Now I'm going to root table. Here I'm having this public RT. Yeah, same as this. Okay. And I'm going to give you one suggestion. Like maybe it is in the end of lab, but okay. If it is possible, I'm attaching this particular map. Okay, below this video. Right below this video. And if possible, make it print out of this. Okay. And then perform the lab. Yeah, because lab will be like exactly same. Okay. So it will be easy for you. Okay. Now you will perform the lab after this session. So it would be better. Yeah. Now I'm going to configure another root table. So here is like a create root table. Okay. I'm going to give name like a private RT. Okay. And here I'm having this VPC. This is my first VPC, and then click create. Okay. So done. Now here I'm having private RT. Okay. So I just got it over here. Now I have to associate my private subnet with the private RT. Okay. So I'm doing this thing. Okay. Let me go to the private RT. Go to the subnet association. Edit the subnet association. Here I am having private subnet, public subnet. So I'm going to associate private subnet and then click save. Right. So it is done. Right. Now I have to add one root. Yeah. So there will be the association between the NAT VPC, like a NAT gateway, and the private RT. Yeah. Sorry. Actually should use like this. Yeah. Actually this private RT is calling this NAT gateway. Yeah. Same like see here public RT is calling this. Yeah. So now how can I do this? So you have to go to the root table. Go to the roots. Okay. Click edit root. Add root. 0.0.0.0 same as we added in the private in the internet gateway. Yeah. And here you have to select NAT gateway, and here you will get this my NAT. Okay. And then click save root. Okay. And done. Our lab is done. Okay. So now it is clear. Okay. Now I want to verify this. Okay. So to verify this, okay, you go to the, like, it must have internet, right? So you can go to the, yeah, see this, we are getting ping. Okay. And I want to verify the IP. Okay. So here this computer having this fake IP 192.168.0.145. Yeah, it is like fake. But when you go and open this Internet Explorer, sorry, like this Internet Explorer is really crap, but we don't have any option right now. Okay. And when you Google it, may it works or not, I don't know. Let me do this. Okay. This is what the problem. I know that how to disable it, but let me continue with this. What is my IP? Okay. And look at over here. It is the IP. Yeah. 15.207.150.186. Yeah. And actually this is the exact private public IP of my NAT gateway. Yeah. Let me minimize this. Okay. It is the public IP over here. And when you go over here and when you verify this NAT gateway, okay, and look at over here. Yeah. 1515207.150. So basically now this computer is accessing the internet using internet gateway. Yeah, you can able to open Google, Facebook, Gmail, anything for your live update of application, you can do it. But the matter is inbound access is not possible. Yeah, because this computer is behind the net, same as my computer. Yeah. So this is how it works. Okay. So done. Now this is what the end of the story. Yeah. And there will be the one lab in which you will configure public subnet, private subnet, internet gateway, NAT gateway, everything. Yeah, so the lab will be below. You can download this PDF file and it will be exactly like I explain you over here. Yeah, this chart must be very useful. Okay, and you can use this. Okay, now one thing it is for sure. Okay, do not forget to delete the entire system. Okay, and now I am going to delete everything. Okay, please after lab watch this 5 minutes again and delete everything. Okay, and do exactly like me. Okay, please, otherwise Amazon will charge you, and like why we need to pay. Yeah, like we have this facility. Okay, so just give your 5 minutes and I'm going to explain you how you can delete it. Okay, so first of all, go to the VPC dashboard. Okay, sorry, EC2 dashboard. First the thing is, yeah, you have to delete your EC2 instances, right? So instances, select all your 2 or 3 instances. If you have, like I'm having 3, okay, go to the instance tab and terminate the instance. Yeah, it is compulsory because without this you cannot able to delete any VPC, private subnet, nothing. Yeah, so first of all you have to delete this. Now wait, because it is shutting down, it will take some time. Okay, meanwhile you can go to the VPC and go to the NAT Gateway and go to the action menu and this delete this NAT Gateway. Yeah, you just need to type delete. Okay, and then delete this. Okay, now again it will take time. Okay, now yeah, that's all. Like now we can able to delete our VPC. Let me try this. Okay, so here like all the 3 terminated, it is done. Let me verify the status of NAT Gateway. Yeah, it is deleting. It will take more 2 minutes. Yeah, but spend this. Yeah, it is, this video is going to be more than 30 minutes, but I don't have any option right now. Okay, oh, it is taking time. So yeah, it is deleted. Once you get this deleted status, yeah, go to the elastic IP. This is most important step, don't forget this. See here we have this permit like public IP. This is the same IP as a gateway. Yeah, now you now you have to select this IP, go to the action menu, and here you have to click on release elastic IP. Yeah, now it will take time to get this, otherwise just click deassociate. Maybe you can, sorry, now it will take time because it is connected with the NAT Gateway. Yeah, so once the NAT Gateway status will be deleted, then you will get this. Yeah, so select this. Again we are not getting this status. Yeah, but wait like me, I am also waiting. Yeah, so yeah, see this associate instance is now clear. And now go to the action menu and still we are not getting. Wait, yeah, I am not going to edit this video. Okay, like I am not going to post this video, so you can realize that you have to wait. Yeah, you have to wait. This will be highlighted. Yeah, let me try. Can I be able to deassociate this? No, I cannot. Okay, so wait. Okay, no problem. We'll come back to this. Okay, right now our EC2 instance is now clear. Okay, let me try to delete VPC. Okay, my first VPC, and let me go to the delete VPC. Okay, here it is asking me for the confirmation. I'm going to delete. Yeah, you do not need to delete any subnet or anything. Yeah, it is now deleted. Okay, it is deleted, subnet and everything. If you delete this VPC, it will delete the subnet. Okay, it will delete the associate root table. Okay, it will delete attach internet gateway. Okay, we already deleted this NAT gateway. Now there's only one thing that is important. It is elastic IP. Yeah, let me verify this. Like I'm not getting this. Okay, so wait. Yeah, it is now highlighted. I can select this. So release IP, release, and my tension is also released now. Okay, and you have to release your tension also. Okay, so don't forget to delete this. Okay, type promise below this video or type deleted below this video. It is compulsory. Okay, so now it is done. Okay, so now if you have any question, you can comment below. Okay, and after deleting everything, just type delete everything in the comment below. This is compulsory. Okay, there is a lab that you have to perform. Okay, and this is the most important topic. So if you cannot able to understand it with the first time, watch it video 2 or 3 times and your concept must be very clear. Yeah, it is most important. That's why I'm requesting you. Okay, so now see you in the next video and bye.